I'm about to drop the truth bomb on you. With God as my witness, my hand could be sitting on a Bible right now, and it ends up being the nail in your coffin. I've said many times in all these 2,000 or so videos I've done on this channel, don't trust anyone in this space, including us. Hey guys, welcome to How Much Does It Cost to Find Your Beautiful Ukrainian Wife? Full disclosure, no BS. And guys, it's my goal in this video for this to be the definitive resource to answer this question. Because when you Google this question online, let's just suffice it to say it's not a very thorough and accurate answer. And this is from the guy that's been there, done that, of course. My name is Joe Ricards. I'm happily married to a beautiful Ukrainian woman, 20 years my junior, and I'm a lucky man that's pinching himself every morning when I get up. Let's start with the number one most expensive item. I have personal experience, unfortunately, here too. So what is the most expensive cost item when we're talking about this journey, right? Like, so finding a wife and having a family and living happily ever after. The number one most expensive cost, I think you guys will agree, it's divorce. As Eddie Murphy put it in Delirious, they get half. And that's if you're lucky these days, right? By the way, welcome to our humble abode here on Pigeon Lake in Alberta. It's just between Calgary and Edmonton. This is our new home here in Canada. So I was talking to this gentleman who's about 2 hours from here, from, I won't say where exactly, but he just shared with me that his divorce is costing him $610,000 is what the court is ruling he has to pay his ex-wife. And the thing is, he's pretty much destitute right now. He doesn't know how he's going to buy Christmas presents for the kids. So it is a very expensive item. When you research the average cost of divorce today in America, the cost is over $1 million. That is the most expensive item. And what causes divorce? I mean, that's quite a question, right? They say money is the number one reason for all fights, but I think you would agree with me. The number one thing that causes divorce is settling. So you're dating somebody locally usually, right? And maybe they hit one or two deal breaker boxes, or certainly boxes of things that you really didn't want to have, or you really wanted to have and she doesn't have it in your future happiness, your relationship, your family. But we say to ourselves, when we're from North America, we say to ourselves, look, I don't think I'm going to do any better, right? Does that sound familiar? I might as well settle on her, right? And we get married. And guess what? Some years later, like this fellow that's from locally to a 2-hour drive away from here, he's been married for 15 years. So now 3 kids. Now it's really hard because you've got kids and they pay the real hardest cost of divorce is the children. It really messes them up the rest of their life to one degree or another. So that is the first thing, is you've got to set your sights on being successful, choosing the right woman for you to live happily ever after till death do us part, right? By the way, without further ado, I want to kind of drop a teaser for you, is that at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you the number one cheapest way to find a beautiful Ukrainian wife, get married, and live happily ever after. Okay, I'm going to share it with you somewhere near the end of this video. Okay, number two is the cost of rushing into it. We always recommend, and I certainly did it myself. I took 1 year to get to know Anna. In 1 year, you can see pretty much, full spectrum of colors of that person's personalities, of their imperfect, or their perfect imperfections, rather. You can see it all pretty much in a year if you date heavily in that year. So don't rush into it, right? Don't make a poor choice. Don't settle, because again, the number two line item here, which is rushing marriage, it's either one of two things. It's either divorce or a lifetime of misery, of unhappiness. And what does Warren Buffett say about marriage? I love this quote. 80% of life's happiness or misery will depend on the woman you marry. So choose wisely. Wise words from a man that's been married over a half a century and, of course, is one of the richest men in the world. Very wise words. So we're to heed his warning. Number 3 cost is on this particular journey. Let me start by saying this. I was on a live stream the other day on the weekend, and the guy came on, and it was a horrific story. It was a horrific story, which I won't recant. But if you were watching UkraineDating.tv this past weekend, you would have heard his story, which, by the way, is a great place. If you want to get to know Ukrainian women, ask them all the questions. I mean, high quality, sincere, marriage-minded Ukrainian women. I have a channel that's free for you to watch. We have Ukrainian ladies streaming there on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, UkraineDating.tv. You can even cam share and come on camera, see them face to face, ask them all the questions you have, be as vulnerable as you want to, as you can, learn the culture, understand what they're looking for in a man. Yeah, about the live stream on the weekend. And about every guy that approaches me and says, Joe, I've been dating this Ukrainian lady can be 6 months, can be 1 year, can be, Jerry was 4 years dating her. And I got some concerns, right? I got some red flags. So the first question I always ask him is, can you guess? How did you meet her? Where did you meet her, right? Because I gotta say, it's more than 9 times out of 10, he tells me a website. And it's either a PPL, paper letter, scam by design site, which encompasses 98+% of this industry, right? That's usually the case. And I know the sites, I know all of them. I even have a list, the top 100 scam sites, PPL scam sites. And I'll put that list in the description below this video, by the way. And that's, you guys have told me, all the registrations with Match Guarantee over the past 7 years, you guys answer those questions. Do you believe you've been scammed? If so, which site and how much and how long? So I've been able to compile a very large sample size, so very accurate statistics on the top 99 scam sites. I also ask you guys, what's the number 1 cause for your failure? So I have a lot of really useful statistics for us knowing what you guys want and need to be helpful on this journey. Anyway, I digress. The other time he will tell me that I met on Tinder, let's say, or I met on one of these nominal fee dating sites, which there are in Ukraine. There's big sites and they're like maybe $19, $29 a month, or we met on Facebook or something like that. So it's a low or no fee solution. I would say maybe 20% of the time they tell me that's how I met her. And you have no one looking out for your best interests. You have no one that really understands Slavic women that is saying to you, listen, we give you our endorsement on this lady. She is serious. She is high value. She's looking for love and family for all the right reasons. You have nobody looking out for your best interest. And that's the big problem with either one of those. Of course, if it's a pay-per-letter scam site, right, then you're absolutely doomed for failure, almost 100% of the time. I mean, it's so rare that a marriage results on a pay-per-letter scam site. Even the sites there's one top site that makes $250 million a year, $250 million a year, and they're scam by design. So without further ado, that's what you have to be wary of, right? How did you meet her? How do you know this is a quality person that you're seeing, right? This is a huge, and the number 3 cost or expense in finding a quality Ukrainian woman to marry. Boy, could I go down a rabbit hole here. I want to, I think, refer you, and I will link the video in the description below this video. It's called I Fucked Up, Part 1 and Part 2. So super quickly, because it is a must view. If you're on this journey, it's a must view. Because my biggest mistake as an owner of an agency, and don't forget, I'm just like you. I was on this journey, 7 short years ago, made all the mistakes, got scammed, had to learn how Ukrainian women are different from Western women. I did it all, right? Just like you're probably go on this journey now for yourself. You're probably walking down a similar path. So I made the mistakes so that you don't have to, is what I always say, and it's very true. So what I'm saying is the third most expensive item when you're searching for a beautiful Ukrainian wife is how are you gonna do that, right? So who are you gonna work with? So who's gonna be your wingman, your agency that you're gonna work with? Who are you gonna trust to provide you vetted, high quality, serious, marriage-minded Ukrainian women? Or are you gonna do the DIY route, do it yourself route? Are you gonna trust yourself? Do you have a wingman? Do you have somebody looking out for your best interests, right? This is the third most expensive item. And this is a very controversial point, right? Because of course I'm sitting here as the founder of matchguarantee.com. So obviously my opinion is biased, right? Let's call a spade a spade. I do my best to get around this bias so that I myself am not biased, that I see things holistically. So I've done things like, it was probably 3 years back, I did the marriage agency versus DIY marriage cost challenge. Okay, and that I will link in the description below because the results were as I expected. I didn't know numerically what it was going to be, but basically we invited everybody to participate in this poll of how much did it cost and all the different line items. And it was quite an extensive, maybe 15 or 20 line items on everything you could think of, from hotel costs to marriage agency fees to flights to the cost of the wedding, et cetera, et cetera. And so we compared match guarantee clients that either got engaged or married, and then DIY, do-it-yourself clients. And interestingly enough, like I said, the Google Sheets is in the description below, so you can check it out. So the cost of doing it yourself was 4 times or 400% more than the cost of match guarantee, the full cost that match guarantee clients endured on the process. And also the time that it took was coincidentally 4 times or 400% longer time. Now, if you want to participate in this on either one side or the other, please let us know. We would love to add to this sheet. The more that participate, the greater the statistical significance of this number, right? But I'm trying to look for an unbiased way. And by the way, guys, if you have any, I was going to say at the beginning of this video, if you have any resources on this question, you know, how much does it cost to find a beautiful Ukrainian wife? Please link it in the description below, right? If you think it's useful for our viewers, please link it below. Who are you going to work with? And I always say on that, you know, basically, it's like Buffett says, trust. You can trust, but verify. If you're going to trust somebody, verify first. So verify and trust. Trust, but verify. I've said many times on all these 2,000 or so videos I've done on this channel, don't trust anyone in the space, including us. Make us earn your trust. Trust is not something given out on a silver platter. It's earned, especially in this racket. How can you choose wisely? Okay, so the first thing is do your homework. Google the name of the agency and reviews. And don't just stop at page 1 of Google. Go deep, go right to page 10 of Google, because you got to understand there is a massive industry called reputation management. And what these agencies do, these big scam sites, is they pay millions of dollars to these reputation management firms to bury the bad reviews, either get them pulled down and removed or buried. And none of these review sites is impenetrable, even Trustpilot, which is supposed to be the gold standard. I'll just leave that there for now, but go deep on your research. Ask if you can talk to previous clients, like actually talk to them, right? We do have a few, of course, this gets a bit onerous after a while, but we're always asking clients, would you mind if another client that's considering us wants to talk to somebody, would you talk to them? We ask that, so we always have a list of guys that are open to it. Now, eventually, after they talk to more than a handful of guys, and these conversations go an hour plus, they say, hey, take me off the list, Joe, please. You know, but any given time, we have a good handful of guys that will talk to you. Of course, we have over 100 client testimonial videos, which are almost all shot live on YouTube Live, so there's no editing cover-ups there. So those are the 2 biggest things. You talk to past clients, really satisfy yourself that they had a great experience. Now, I want to bring your attention to, on this point, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you my biggest fuck up as a marriage agency owner as looking out for my client's best interest, I had a monumental fuck up. And I could have swept it under the carpet because it didn't become public. And I asked myself this question, honestly speaking, like, this is really embarrassing. Basically, I inadvertently caused a client of mine to get scammed really badly. She was married before, she was paid to meet with him, you name it, it was bad. But guess what? I knew him well enough that he called me and said, Joe, you're not gonna believe what happened. So when this happened, it was the death of Match Guarantee business plan as it was back then, which was a franchise business plan. It was the death of that business plan. I realized it's not possible to serve our clientele to the degree that we want to and scale Match Guarantee past much more than $1 million a year, right? Which is pretty boutique, right? So I did a video and it's on the channel. I will link it below. It's called I Fucked Up Part 1 and I Fucked Up Part 2. This is absolutely mandatory viewing for anybody on this journey. Watch this video. You will understand like a 10,000 watt light bulb will come on for you, I promise, when you watch I Fucked Up Part 1. That'll probably be good enough. So be weary of who you're gonna trust and work with to provide you quality women. And I wanna go out on a limb and say a pretty gigantic, all-sweeping statement, which I'll be called on, and that's totally fine. I welcome to be called on anything, really. How do we check our quality of ladies? That's a very big question. I've done videos on it where I walk you through the quadrants of our quality control, which I think is about a 30-40 minute video. And I don't want this to be too long of a video, so I will attach that video in the description below this video as well, so you can watch that. What does Match Guarantee do for quality control? But the big major point is you never, ever, ever want to work with anyone that doesn't have only their own women, okay? They find them, they vet them, they give them their stamp of approval. Hopefully they communicate with them and they train them, they teach them. Just like you guys need to be educated on how Slavic women are different than Western women, they need to be educated how Western men are different than Ukrainian men, and proper etiquette and behavior in our world. And almost nobody does that except for us. I'm gonna share with you a hack that we have been using for years to see if there is indeed. I went on this quest years ago. I said, okay, I want to identify who are the other good players in this industry, right? So Ukrainian matchmakers, because there are hundreds, if not 1,000 or thousands of them. There are a lot of them all over Ukraine. And even with the war on, okay, that number has shrunk, okay? But there's still a lot of them. And they're small little boutique mom and pop shops, right? With 100, 125 or so women, but that's a typical number, 100 ladies. And guess what? What do they charge? 150, it's still $150 is a meet fee. So to meet one lady, $150 charge. Cheap like borscht, right? That $150 fee will add up at the end of the day. I promise you that. Okay, most likely. What I have been doing, and this is a little bit foxy, but you got to do what you got to do. We have been behind the scenes checking out every agency's database. So what do you do? And I welcome you guys to do this for yourself. It's mandatory for you to do before selecting anybody to work with, before deciding to trust them. You need to understand and see for yourself, what is their database of ladies made of, okay? So here's how you do that. Here's what we do. We do this for we check our full database. Every lady in our database gets checked every 6 months. And it's a very thorough check. The last round of checks cost me something like $17,000, in that ballpark, about 17 grand, because it's a lot of time. It's a lot of man-hour time. So what you want to do, what we do for other agents, for us, we do every single lady. But what you want to do, if you're considering working with another agency, less XYZ, Ukraine marriage agency or international matchmaking agency, whatever, you want to check out their youngest girls. So I would suggest 19, which is usually the youngest, to 29. Take 10 years, and then take the top say 20 ladies in there, from the youngest though, or do the whole thing. And do reverse image searches. And there's tools out there that you can use that are much better than Yandex or Google for reverse image search. So do a reverse image search and you will understand everything after doing that. If it's a bad site, you will see, first of all, a large number of young, beautiful, strikingly beautiful model types. Okay, that's the first clue. Lots of youngies, because that's the bait to catch you guys, because we're all a sucker for young beauty, whether you want to admit it or not. So look at them, look at the other sites. Where do you find their pictures, right? Do you find them on the big toxic pay-per-letter scam by design sites, right? PPL sites, the big ones. Usually you find them and you will start to see them, their images, right? Their pictures all over the internet. Now, on occasion, well, it actually happens more often than not, that there's identity fraud. So a girl is innocent, she's on a site, but she's innocent. Her picture has been stolen. And every time we do a quality control sweep on all of our ladies, every time we find ladies that, mostly the new ones that we haven't checked before, we find them on a new site that they just registered for, because listen, our ladies are really serious. It's wartime in Ukraine. They want very badly to start life again. Their question is, who's my man? Like, who's going to be my future husband? Where's going to be my future? In what country? Of course, it's about love. Like, they got to meet you, fall in love with you first, feel safe and protected with you. But they want to, press restart on their life, right? They've been through hell with this Ukraine war, right? So we don't have enough flow of men. That's our problem. So our ladies, a lot of them, go somewhere else to another site, okay? So it's gotten so bad that we're warning them, we're reaching out to them all the time. Hey, if you're gonna sign up to a site, please reach back to us. Ask us what we know about this site, okay? So, because we're looking out for our ladies as well as we look out for you guys, right? So I'm just saying sometimes it could be identity fraud when you find. But I'm just saying, if you do this on each matchmaking agency, a trend will emerge. I see these girls on all these other sites, or I don't. If you don't, you might have a good agency. But here, I'm about to drop the truth bomb on you. With God as my witness, my hand could be sitting on a Bible right now.
In today's world, dating can feel like spinning the roulette wheel in Vegas. But what if you could finally stack the odds in your favor to win? Imagine if finding lasting love was not about leaving it to chance, but rather about following a proven path that most men don't even know exists. Picture finding her, the one you've been waiting for, faster than you ever thought possible. No more settling, no more loneliness, no more waiting for someday that may never come. Imagine a reliable way to connect with beautiful, family-oriented women that are committed and ready to build a life with you. Sound too good to be true? Well, we've made this a reality for hundreds of happily married couples over the past 27 years. Hi, I'm Anna Ricards, Heart of Match Community, Canada's leading international matchmakers. Today, I will show you how we help our clients to go from frustrated to fulfilled, realizing the family life they've dreamed of without wasting your precious time and financial resources. Does finding the right partner feels like a full-time job? With professional matchmaking, you skip years of frustrating trial and error dating, saving time, energy, and money while our experts do the legwork for you.
Match guarantee is finding my perfect lady, and it's worked out really, really well for me. I don't believe that I could have found a person like Olga. I don't think that ladies with their values exist anymore in England.
Our approach is all about you. We take time to understand your values, interests, and ideal qualities in a partner, ensuring that each match is perfectly aligned with what you're looking for. With unlimited matchmaking, you access a curated selection of high-quality, marriage-minded women Unlike other international matchmakers, our database of ladies is exclusive, with every lady carefully vetted by our psychologist, which means you'll never waste time on casual encounters with women who aren't serious ever again.
Never stop to dream about something. If you really want to do something and want to receive something in your life, everything is possible.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, very happy, eh?
Google Matchmaking reviews and see for yourself hundreds of men who once felt stuck in today's dead-end dating scene just like you are now enjoying the peace and fulfillment of lasting relationship. Ready to take the first step? The world's #1 trusted matchmakers are here for you, and today it won't set you back 20 or even 10 grand. This holiday season, take advantage of our exclusive offer, just $19.97 upfront and $500 monthly for unlimited introductions. Cancel anytime. Imagine start a new year with someone who truly completes you. Don't let another year pass you by without reaching your #1 life goal, finding true love and building your family. You owe it to yourself to make your life goal happen now before it's too late. With our special holiday offer, there is no reason not to start today. To get all your questions answered and see if this is right fit for you, simply book your no-obligation consultation at matchmaking.com/APPT or just call our Vancouver office at 1604-998-8051. Make today the day you take charge of your future happiness. Match guarantee, because everyone deserves to find their perfect match.